Now, a friend of mine asked me to replicate this roundabout. Sorry, this intersection, this T junction. And here you can see there's a primary road, and then there's a secondary road joining this primary road. And once you reach at the intersection, there is a left ramp going all the way up. And when you're on this primary road, you can take a left turn to this road. And then there's an access here also. If you want to make a right turn coming from this side, you can make a right turn and go to the secondary road. So we'll try and do this in Civil 3D. Now let's go to the Civil 3D drawing. So this is what we did from that Google Earth image that we've just seen. So this is what I created. I created a Civil 3D corridor from two alignments. I created an intersection here, and then I created two ramp roads. As you've seen from the Google Earth image, there's a ramp going this way and there's another one going this way. And then there's an intersection here that I created. So we are going to go through the process that I did in order to come with this. So this is very interesting. So stick here to the end to learn some interesting tools. We're going to learn about some offset alignments. We're going to learn about targeting, corridor targeting. And it's going to be very interesting to see how this turned out. So this is still a work in progress, but we'll just get to where we are right now. And let's see. So first, I'll go to this other drawing here. I've brought in the alignments through data shortcuts. So that's the design. Let's create the other profile. So let's bring all these profiles. Let's bring them in. So this is 3. So just create the profile as well. I create it there. And the design profile, I want it to be in the design style. So profile view properties, change this to design. So there we go. We now have our profiles, the same profiles that we have in this drawing. We can also turn off here geolocation to see what was going on here. We have some labels, and we make sure the end of this alignment is at the same level here at this station with the vertical profile of this alignment. So this end, you can see there's an object here being projected, is at the same level as this place here. Alright. So we continue with our process. So once that was through, once I created the alignments and the profiles, it was time to create the intersection. So the intersection was created pretty easily. We're going to use the inbuilt assemblies that come with Civil 3D. So let's go to the Home tab. Here at the Home tab, we create that intersection that is going to be placed here, the same intersection that we have here. This is what I want to recreate. So go to the Home tab. We have the surface, we have the alignments, we have the vertical alignments or the profiles. So we're good to go. So here, click on Create Intersection, and I am prompted to select the intersection point. So I click here at the at the intersection point, and then I'm prompted to with the wizard. This is the wizard that allows us to select the name, the properties of that intersection. So if you want the marker style to be this, you want the name to be that. So we go with the defaults, but here I'm going to change the corridor type to all crowns maintained. So for both the primary and the secondary road, we'll have the cross slope. We'll have the cross slope for the primary road. We'll also have the cross slope for the secondary road. So I go to the next tab, to the next page. So it's this alignment is between this intersection. I mean, is between alignment 2 and 3. And here, first, we do not create the offsetted cab return profiles first. We just create these other ones first, so that we set up these other parameters first, so that we do not slow down our computer. So here, for the primary road, the offset is the offset of the right edge of travelway is 3.5, and for the left is 3.5. Same as the secondary road, they looked pretty similar in terms of size. And therefore, once that is through, I click OK, and then I want to set up the cab return parameters. So here at the SW quadrant, I should be able to see a preview, but I can see, you can see the preview here. It's showing us this is the radius we're talking about. And these parameters, you can get them from our manuals. Right now, I'll go with the 9 meter because it was not a very big radius when we saw it. So I'll go with the 9 meter and the 9 meter for both quadrants. And I'm not going to widen the cab returns. If you want to widen the cab returns, you can widen for the incoming road, which was this, and then you can also widen for the outgoing road, but we want them in their defaults. So let's go with those defaults, 9 meter radius, that's okay. And I click OK. We go to next. So let me go back. Let me create this intersection. Okay, so now we are presented with the cab returns. So we can see these are the cab returns. You can see the offsets at the inset point, at the intersection point. So we have our 3.5, our 3.5, a 3.5 for the major, for the primary road, and a 3.5 for the primary road. And then we have our cab return profiles. So I can select this to go ahead and now create the rest of the things. I can create the side road profiles. I want to let me first of all choose the lane slopes. So the crossfall, I don't want to use an existing. I want to use a no right edge. I do not have existing profiles for this, so I want them to be created by the intersection wizard. So I put no in all of them, and then these slopes, put them at negative 2.5, what we are used to. Negative 2.5, sorry. 2.5. All right. Then once we are through, want to close this wizard. And now I want to select again this, and I want to recreate that lane slope. Let me see the curb return profiles. I want to create those curb return profiles. So this, I want to bring it here. Okay, that's okay. So let's close this, and then we now recreate our corridor region. Let's recreate those corridor regions. For now, I don't want to delay it to the surface. So I will use this assembly set, drive left side of the road, because in Ethiopia and in Kenya we usually drive on the left. So once that is okay, I can now create the intersection. I can recreate it. So let's wait. You can now see our intersection. That is done for us. Very good. Now we are supposed to create the ramp, and this other ramp here. So how I did that, I first of all created offset alignments for these two alignments, and then I created a connected alignment for both. So let's see how that was done. Let me create an offset alignment. So I can do that. Let me escape first. I can do that by clicking on the alignment, and then I go to offset alignment. Let's see, where do we create the offset alignment? I can create it from here. So I allow that, and then I put on the width there, the offset on the left and offset on the right. I do not put a side. Everything is okay. Widening, no widening. And the cross slopes from parent alignment, the cross slopes, I want them to be 2.5. Click OK, and those offset alignments are created right at the edge of road as we want them. And now I'm going to create offset alignments for this. Select that alignment. I selected two of them, so I escape, and first of all again select this offset alignment again, and then I do the same. I click OK, and the offset alignments are created. All right. So now what we want to do is to create those ramps. We have this ramp over here, and we have this ramp over there. So yes, let's utilize the offset alignment. We'll put on the aerial map so that we see how those offset alignments or those ramp alignments should be. So there's a very important tool here called the offset alignment. So I go to the home tab, it's the create design, and down here there's a connected alignment. I mean, not offset alignment, there's a create connected alignment. And I'm able to select the first alignment here and the second alignment. And then I'm supposed to pick a side for the connected alignment, and I pick on that side, and I can see the preview here. Once I pick, I just click OK. And here I can see the connection is between this alignment and this alignment. So here the design criteria, I don't want it to follow any design criteria. So here we are not going to use any design speed. This is a very short span. And then I want to do a spiral curve spiral, and I don't want to offset from the offset alignment. This offset alignments, I don't want to offset. I want that curve to be right on the offset alignment. So if you go to the manuals, most of the time they recommend, if you're doing these curves, you do the 3-centered curve. So you have 3 compound curves following each other, but it's such a difficult thing to do, to know all these curve radius and then the second radius and the third radius. Usually they're in the ratio of 2:1:3. But now Civil 3D makes this simple for us because it's able to calculate this for us. And then for the lap length here, we can do a 5. Do a 5. Let's click on preview to see. So creating an auto fit connected elements. Yeah, let's Civil 3D solve that for us. So it has created that auto fit. Let's click OK and go and edit it to suit what we want here. So as you can see, that is probably what we want. So close to what we have there. So that's our first ramp alignment. So let's do the other one on the other side. Let's create the other one. We'll follow the same process. Let me toggle off tool space here to create more real estate for us to see. And then I'll go to create connected alignment again. I'll pick on this as the first alignment, and then I'll pick on this alignment and I'll choose a side. I click enter and I'm presented with this dialog box. I go to design criteria. I don't want it to use this design criteria. It's a short span where vehicles will be almost a stopping speed because they're able to see from the other side that this is a junction. And then parameters here. So here it gets a bit tricky because we have a curve coming this way. So it seems we'll have a reverse curve, and then we'll have a curve, then it reverses, and then a curve. All right. So this, we cannot use this solution for spiral curve spiral. We will start with a reverse, then a spiral, then a curve, then a spiral again. Okay, so we'll start with a reverse, a spiral, let's go with this first case. Reverse, spiral, spiral, then curve, then spiral. All right. That will be okay. Then I don't want to do any offsets. No offsets. Let's do a 5 again. Let's do a 5 again. See what it gives us. So let's preview, create an auto. Very good. Just what we wanted. Very accurate. Okay. And you can get the geometry features from here. You can go to geometry property and you can see the features. You can see the spirals that have been created, the curve, the length and the radius. Okay. You can see everything from the properties there. So now it's time for us to create the ramps. So here we'll utilize this these sub-assemblies or assemblies that were created when the intersection was created. So let me turn off that. can move this. Let me see whether we can move this closer here, closer home, or better yet, this. Let's move this closer to the our corridor. So now I want a ramp that goes this way. So this is where the alignment is. So the ramp should be on the right. So I'll use this ramp. Is what I will use to do this, to create what I need to do, I need to have the curb on this other side also. It will be curbed on both sides. So what we'll do is we'll create a copy of this. So let me just click this. And the copies will be having them on the left and on the right. So let me create a copy of this. So let's look at the features. So Control 1. Now let's look at this lane. Yes, we have selected 3.5, but it has now created a 3.6 meter lane, so that's no cause for any concern. What we can also do, instead of using this, we can also bring in from the tool palette, we can bring in a lane. So let's do a basic road. Let's just see what a basic road looks like. I'll place it there. Close this. That's a basic road. So what we'll do, I want to delete this. So I want to be left with a curb, and I also want to have this side. So we'll ignore these gradings for now. So what I'll change here, I'll change let me close the tool palette. I'll change the properties of that. Lane. And then I'll place it on this ramp. I will also use this for this ramp. So what we'll do, we'll go to the corridor, this corridor here, go to corridor properties, and I will add a baseline. I will choose the alignment. There we go. And I click OK. So here, an offset profile was also created for the connected alignment. So the profile is already selected, so I click OK. I add a region now where I can now add my assembly. So I apply that, I rebuild the corridor. Let's look at it. So there we go, we have our ramp. We'll clean it up later. Let's create this other ramp as well. So we go back to the corridor again. We right click and then we go to corridor properties. I add another baseline. I choose the alignment, and then that's okay, I've already chosen it. It's connected alignment 2. And then here I select the profile. It was created together with the connected alignment. And then I add a region. I select the sub-assembly, or the assembly, I mean, for that region. And I apply, I click OK, and I rebuild the corridor. So there you go, we have our ramp alignment again. So here what I want to do is I want to split these ramps so that they do not go all the way to the center line. Okay, so let me split this. I'll choose this ramp. First of all, let me edit the frequencies for this corridor. Let me edit the frequencies here. I'll put them at 2. At offset. At increment of 2 again. I can do that for this as well. 2 meters, 2 meters. Along spirals 2. Then here at an increment. So everything is set at 2. So now I want to split this profile so that I stop the targeting over this side, for it not to go all the way to the middle. So I split this region. So let me start with this point. So this point where it starts entering the other side of this other corridor, I split it there. And then I come and split it here as well, where it starts entering into this other corridor. I split it there. So what we want to do here is to have this in a different kind of assembly, which does not have a curb and any daylight. So I will also copy this. I copy it down here, and then I delete this too. So here, because we want the lane to target this offset alignment, we want to change it into this so that this place targets the offset alignment. All right. So let me pick this corridor again, and then we modify the region. So region properties, this last region here, I want to change the assembly. So let me pick the assembly from CO3D, from the model space, and I click OK. And there we go. So we have to first again change the target. We have to change the target for this assembly so that it targets this, for this lane so that it targets this offset alignment. So again, I edit targets and I choose the region. I click OK. And here the width target, this is what I want to change, and I want to change into this. I want to pick this. Apply, and there you go. We have our lane only targeting that. See, the lane comes all the way here. And if you notice these bow ties, you can move back a little bit and you'll have a smooth corridor. So we go back to this other side. We had also split and we want to target this alignment. So I choose the corridor again. And I want to edit the region. So region properties is for this part. I want to change this. I want to change this to this other. Now I want to edit the targets for this. It's already changed to the new corridor, and then I pick again the width target. I pick the width target from the drawing. I pick it here. And there you go. Again, if you can see some inconsistencies there, you can pull it away a bit. And there we have our smooth ramp coming all the way to this point. So we do this again for this other side. We need to split this corridor here. I'll do my split where it enters into this other part. Yeah, so here. And then I also do the same split here. It starts entering. So here I change this. I edit, I modify this assembly here. I pick it from the drawing. I also edit this. I pick it from the drawing. And now I want to modify the targets. So I edit these targets for this region. Click enter. I want to pick that it targets the offset alignment there. Click enter. Apply. It has targeted that offset alignment there. I also do the same here for this part. I edit targets. I pick the region, click enter. I select that. Go and select the. And now we have our ramp again. So if you notice again the overlap there, you go back. Sorry. If you notice that overlap, you just separate it a bit. There we go. There we go. Now you have it smooth. And our corridor is taking shape. So let's see. Taking shape slowly by slowly. Right. Looking very good. Let us change this annotation scale so that these values do not confuse us. Now we want to fill in these other places. So we need a corridor. We need a region here. We need a region here that has a full let me see whether we can extend this. Yes, we can extend that. But from here, we need a region that has this side. It has a curb on this side, but does not have a curb on this other side. So let's go with this primary road full section. So let's copy this primary full section. So I'll copy this, and then I will delete this side. So I want a region here that is that way. So this region also doesn't have to be this long. Okay. So I click on the corridor again. I right click, go to corridor properties, and I add a region. So let's see, let's see these regions. Yeah, this is this region, that is that region. So I want to add a region before this, because this alignment goes from this side towards upper side. So I want to bring to insert a region before for this. So I click OK. It is inserted, and now I want to pick the right assembly. That is okay. And it's not from 0, it's from this place. This is where we do not have an on the left. We do not have a curb on the left. So I rebuild the corridor, and as you can see now, we now have a smooth corridor at that place. Okay, we continue on with that until we get to this point. All right, so let's continue. So we'll have a full section on this side all the way to the end. Let's put a full section here. So again, I right click, I go to corridor properties, I insert a region there. I insert a region before I pick this full section here for the primary road. I click OK, and it's from 0 all the way. I apply all the way to where we had our last one. So we fill in the rest of the place neatly. Then I want a section that will go all the way to the other side. So let's try this. Again, another section that does not have a right side here. Doesn't have a left, but it has a right side, a right curb. So it goes all the way to here. So I click on the corridor, I right click, and I go to corridor properties. So this part I add a corridor after. So I want to add a corridor after, a region after, and I want it to have a curb on the right side only. So I pick this. So it does not go all the way to the end. It comes up to here. I rebuild the corridor, click OK. And now I can have a full section all the way to the end now. So I add another region after this. Go to corridor properties and I add a region after that. Insert region after, and I select an assembly, a full selection, a full road. I rebuild the corridor and I click OK, and there we go, we have a full section all the way to the end. Now we also have to get another one here. So let's extend this one to see. Let's extend this part. That's okay. So we need one that has on the right side here has something, but on the left side it's blank. And then we need one that does not have curves on both sides here. So let's do that. Let's create one assembly that has a curb on the right but does not have a curb on the left. So this is for the secondary road. So we'll just click this and copy. So it's one that I need one that does not have a curb on the left but has a curb on the right. So I click there. Doesn't have a curb on the left. It has a curb on the right. So remember, it's beside this secondary foot road. So I pick on the corridor properties. It's before this. Insert region before, because the alignment is going from this side to this side. So you can see the arrow here. So this is the latter side, so we have to go before this. So before, and I click, I pick the assembly. That is the assembly. And then it doesn't go all the way to the end. Let me pick the start point. Start point is here. Okay, let's see where it's gone. This is not correct. This is supposed to come all the way. Let's come all the way here. Yeah, that's correct now. That's correct. Now we need one that does not have curbs on both sides all the way to here. All the way to here. So here we again copy this secondary road. and then we delete both cabs. We add a region. We add a region here. We set a region before K. So the start point of that region, I want it to be here. And then the end point of that region, I want it to be here. Oh, sorry, we picked the wrong assembly. So let's pick this assembly. Click OK. I apply, I rebuild the corridor. And there we go. We have our corridor there. Now the last thing we need to do, we need to have two assemblies. We need to have an assembly here. One that does not have a, on the right side, a cab on the right side, and one that does. Let's do this. Alternatively, we can bring this all the way back here and create one full section here. So let me add that. Corridor properties. Add a region before this, and I want a full secondary section. This is the full secondary section that I want, all the way to the end. Click OK, and there we go. So there we go. We have our corridor properties. Let me set all frequencies to 2. There we go. We have our corridor. So something here that we can clean up. There seems to be a frequency that we have not set here. So what we'll do is that we'll divide this region again. So let me click on the corridor. We split that region. Let's split it at this point. So this region has these two sides. So we'll edit the targets for these two split sides. So let's edit the target and enter. So the width target here is only this alignment. And this alignment is alignment 3. So apply that. It's now clean. This one, the other one was clean. We don't have to change that. So we can now view it on Object Viewer. We can view our corridor. Let's see how it looks like. Nice and clean. So we still have some work to do.